Hello and welcome to Robotics Surgery Insights. I'm excited to be joined today by Professor Jongsoo Lee from Severance Hospital in South Korea. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for your interview, having me here. Thank you.
I understand that you recently performed the first Revo-i robotic buccal mucosa graft urethroplasty. It was also the first case of its kind at Severance Hospital. Could you please tell me a little bit about this procedure and why you decided to use a surgical robot?
Okay, so this patient was a male. He was in his 70s and who had developed a short segment of the urethral stricture after multiple extracorporeal shock wave for the urethral stone, and he had several ureteroscopic stone extraction, and he had the urethrotomy, which we just give a cut at the ureter to widen it, and he also had some balloon dilation several times. So after that, the obstruction just persisted. So he was referred to our institution, and actually the urethral reconstruction surgery is well established in the United States, and they're very experts there. But yet it remains relatively uncommon in Korea. Of course, these days there are some surgeons who are starting doing the reconstruction surgery. Therefore, our center haven't done any buccal mucosa urethroplasty until now. And compared with an open or conventional laparoscopic approach, I thought that surgical robot provides more enhanced three-dimensional vision and tremor filtration, for the wrist instruments. That can facilitate the meticulous dissection and tension-free suturing. Until that time, I have done 30 cases of Revo-i. For the robots, the basics are the dissections and suturing for them to do. And I was sure that the Revo-i could accomplish those missions. So that's the reason why I used the Revo-i system for this surgery.
Excellent. And how is the patient doing after the procedure? What was the outcome like?
He will visit me 2 days later. We keep the urethral stent after the surgery. So it was my first case for the buccal mucosa urethroplasty also. So I kept the stent a bit longer than I expected. But however, right now he's stent free, and it has been 4 or 5 weeks until now. Until now, he didn't call me. So I think he's okay. 2 days after, I think I will meet him and we can know the results.
Positive news. What would you say are some of the key benefits of Revo-i that made you select it for this procedure?
Although the procedure could certainly have done with the Da Vinci system, because we have nine Da Vinci's in our institution. But I routinely use the Revo-i system for partial nephrectomy, which is has time attack surgery for us, and have found these core functions as I told you, fine dissection, and I can do a precise anastomosis and some suturings also. So I thought the performance was very highly reliable for me. And the buccal mucosa graft urethroplasty depends on those same fundamentals with the suturing and dissection. That's all for those surgeries. So I thought that Revo-i was adequate for the task. And equally, the cost is always very important for us also. There are multiple kinds of reasons why I use Revo-i for this patient. However, also for the cost, I offered him to the surgery under Revo-i.
And with more clinical cases like this, it seems Revo's strengths are becoming even clearer. At the same time, competition in the surgical robotics market is growing both in Korea and globally. As someone, an expert directly in the field as yourself, how would you describe the current market landscape and trends?
The surgical robot market is becoming very competitive these days. All robots coming from the States and England also, and every countries. However, not all of them meet the expected standard, I think, in terms of the quality and movement of the robotic system, and the cost also, and the performance and the safety of the robotic system. So in this environment, I think there's we have to balance between the essential performance and the reasonable cost. So nowadays, like more surgeons in many countries where there's no robots also, they are seeking for like more practical and affordable robotic systems.
Interesting. And based on your experience of using various other surgical robots, what do you think is Revo's unique competitive advantage?
So the Revo-i offers a strong core technology and like within a competitive price, which is the major advantage. Those two, I think, and additionally, the mirror company also places a strong focus on like training the users, new users, and giving some support to them, and to be a reliable company to the hospitals or the users. So they have like several programs for education, and they also have like global fellowships who also visited me several times, which shows the companies like commitment to the structured education. And I think those will play a great role in helping to reduce the initial difficulties for the first-time system users.
Excellent. And AI in general is a very hot topic in the medical device space at the moment. How effective do you think AI functions are during actual surgical procedures when applied to robotic surgery?
So I also work with an AI company for my surgeries also. So I had a meeting before this one today, and I think AI features can play like supplementary roles to provide some support for the surgery, but I don't believe that they have like very strong impact on surgical outcomes, because uh, so even for me the new AI features doesn't help me a lot, I think. Actually, it'll help the newbies, like newcomers for the surgeries or robotic surgeries with the AI system, which I think really is really helpful and good for the beginners to be helped by the AI system. But like ultimately, like the robotic surgery relies on the surgeon's direct like operation of the console, which means the surgeon's technique and experience are more matter than the AI system. So rather than relying to the extra features, I believe it's more important to have a solid understanding to the surgical principles is more important, and to master the necessary techniques.
Interesting. And we understand that you recently presented at the annual Thai Urological Association held in early April. Could you share some information about your presentation?
For me, to participate in the TUA meeting was a great opportunity to understand more deeper for the robotic surgery trends among the ASEAN countries, like Thailand and Singapore or Philippines or Vietnam there. And the robotic surgical market is like steadily growing also in those regions now, and where the Revo-i's target is on the market because of the cost also and the reliability. And my presentation was on the topic of like, which surgical robot should we choose. Uh, so I was mainly talking about this cost and reliability and functions of the robotic system, how stable it is. And I emphasized like three key criteria during the presentation. The first one was that the system must be a reliable product. And the second was that it must come at a responsible price. And the third was that users should receive like ongoing support and education from the company or someone who previously used the Revo-i system. And also like the maintenance also. And so I think Revo-i meets all these criteria, which I think the robotic system in the future has to be to spread in all around the world with some safeties also, and for the patient, and so for better cares for more patients.
Interesting. Is there any particular activity or effort that you've been focusing on recently?
These days, I try to share the Revo-i experience with other surgeons who haven't ever used robotic systems, and also who had used the robotic systems. In our institution, also other the Da Vinci users, they are now interested. They're becoming interested for the Revo-i using the Revo-i system. So I just try to share my experience for them also, and also for those who visit me for the the fellowship training system in our hospital, especially for the Revo-i system. Like recently, there was an Egypt friend and Vietnam friend who visited me to see how the Revo-i system is actually used in South Korea, actually in our hospital, and it was great to share to understand the environment of their their countries medical systems.
Great. One final question. As you are a sort of one of the leading users of Korean surgical robots, I think some may even see you as a national representative in the field. What drives you to be so active with your work?
Robotic surgery is still considered as an expensive solution in many countries, and while the demand continues to grow both domestically and in emerging markets, access is often limited due to financial constraints. And I wanted to contribute to expanding the access to surgical care by utilizing more cost-effective systems and let them know how we can be more cost-effective compared to other robotic units. Because Revo-i is a surgical robot developed in Korea, I feel special attachment to it, and there's a sense of responsibility and pride in helping the Korean technology for me and gain recognition in the global market. And that's what drives me, my continued involvement to this project.
Thank you very much for your time today. It's been great talking with you.
Thank you.